Welcome to the Kids Under 21 or KUTO presentation for Life Crisis Services Crisis Worker Training. In this section, we will discuss one of the agencies, KUTO, which we contract to answer their hotline. Kids Under 21 is an agency that helps young people find strength and hope to cope. They encourage youth to identify and build positive skills and serve as a clearinghouse for information, resources, training, and to better address youth depression awareness, suicide prevention, and crisis intervention. They promote an active community and incorporate the core goals. KUTO started in 1987. It was founded by a family and friends following the suicide of family member Billy Crow. In 1988, the KUTO crisis line opens. In 1993, the Kids Under 21 joined the American Association of Suicidology. It was which is the accrediting body for crisis centers. Life Crisis Services is in its own building in Brentwood, at the corner of Brentwood and Manchester. In 1996, KUTO graduated its first own crisis worker training class. Additionally, they also have a survivability program, which is for peer survivors of suicide to meet one-on-one with other survivors and to discuss their experiences and to mentor and debrief. Kids Under 21 is also a member of the United Way, and in 2002 they began to collaborate with us, Life Crisis Services, the Department of Mental Health, the National Alliance for the Mentally Ill St. Louis, and the National Organization of People of Color Against Suicide to help work to prevention services and educational programs for the community. In 2003, it was awarded Crisis Center certification by the American Association of Suicidology. Currently, Kids Under 21 is collaborating with the St. Louis County Law Enforcement to deliver advanced suicide prevention intervention training to crisis intervention trained officers. In 2011, they were selected to be part of St. Charles County's Children's Resource Board. Kids Under 21 operates a teen volunteer crisis and suicide prevention hotline. However, they also have their prevention pillar. First, they have community enrichment. They also have their peer helper team, and they have other initiatives which their staff members help to facilitate, such as assist training, which you have already received, and Safe Talk, Calm, Yellow Ribbon Project. Intervention for the KUTO Helpline. This is a hotline that is staffed by teen volunteers from the ages of 15 through 21. The hotline is certified by the American Association of Suicidology, as mentioned before. It's staffed 46 hours a week because the teens are in school. So Sunday through Thursday, the hotline is open from 4 to 10, and on Fridays and Saturdays, it's open from 4 until midnight. operated by teens. It is open on Sundays from 4 to 10 and on Fridays and Saturdays from 4 to midnight. On average, they answer 1,275 calls a year. Their caller issues are very similar to the issues you would run into on any of our own hotlines, including information and referral, relationships, having thoughts of suicide. They have post-venture programs, survivability, which we've already spoken about. They're also partnered with the AFSP, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, working on survivors of suicide response team. They have close ties and communications with schools and go in offering debriefing when there has been a death of a student due to suicide. And just as a reminder, survivor is any person who has lost someone, a friend, family, or loved one to suicide is not dead. So what do you need to know about KUTO calls? You need to treat KUTO calls just as you would treat any other caller. Youth callers are being sincere. The problem is important and very real to them. They're calling because they know that something is wrong. It takes great courage for a teen to reach out to an unknown person on the other side of a hotline hoping to find help. And while you may feel that their relationship problems at age 12 are not worth killing themselves over, to them, it is. It is a distortion of their perceptions. When KUTO is not being operated by the teen volunteers, particularly in the evenings and the overnights, it is answered by life crisis services, crisis workers. The script is virtually the same as life crisis. You say, "Hi, this is KUTO. I want to talk with you, but first I need to know if you're having any thoughts of suicide." You also put your alias in there. Now, the difference is, depending upon the answer the caller gives you, is how you next handle the call. There are scripts that are at each computer station which will help walk you through these next steps. If the caller answers no to thoughts of suicide, the script is, "Okay, that's good to hear. My name is Elena and I am over 21. A youth crisis worker is unavailable to talk with you right now. I'd be happy to talk with you, or you can call back. What would you like to do?" And then your options is talk with them now, and you would treat them as any other caller. If they say they don't want to talk with you right now, let them know the hours that the hotline is open. If the answer is yes to thoughts of suicide, then your response should be, "Okay, this is serious. My name is Elena and I'm over 21. Youth crisis worker is unavailable to talk with you right now. Would you be comfortable talking with me?" Then the next responses depend on their answers. If they say yes, they'd like to talk now, again, you treat it as any other suicidal caller. If they say that they are unsure about talking right now, build rapport and let them know that you understand that talking to someone over 21 isn't what they expected and it's going to be difficult to talk, and that you can wait on the line a few minutes to be there while they decide what they want to do. It's a good thing to mention that you are worried about their safety and to try to get them to get a third party involved or talk about coping skills they can use before ending the call to prevent themselves from their lives. If they say no to talking now, your response should be, "Well, I can understand that talking to someone over 21 isn't what you expected. But since we are talking and you're now having thoughts of suicide, it's important to me to know that you can be safe. I'd really like to try to help you. I'm really worried about your safety. Can you promise me you won't make an attempt to end your life until you talk with someone? Is there someone else you could call or that we could call together that might be able to help you?" This may be your best option in getting a third party involved. So again, you treat KUTO callers just as you would treat any other caller. In fact, KUTO volunteers receive the exact same training similar to what you will be receiving, except they do not receive assist training. So during the call, you brainstorm options with the caller, encouraging them to call or that you could conference call with them. Conference person enters. Document all KUTO calls by selecting KUTO as the incoming line. Additionally, if KUTO is transferring their lines, which they do at 10 p.m. Sundays through Thursdays and midnight on Fridays and Saturdays, you must also document that in iCarol. There is a caller issue box in which you select caller a KUTO transfer line. You report if the call meets mandated guidelines for child abuse or elder abuse, and follow our follow-up procedures if it is needed. Some helpful tips. Remember that the majority of the time the callers are minors, although there are some adults as well as frequent callers who contact KUTO. Ask for the age. Ask about school, what grade they're in, where they go to school, what town they're in. If you're scheduling a follow-up, think about what day or what time you are making that follow-up for. KUTO does not have a policy that a trusted adult must be contacted for a suicidal minor. However, Life Crisis Services requires that you gain a trusted adult's information. So in that note, be sure to get trusted adult information that indicates when would be best to give them a time, although you should contact them immediately after contact with the minor. And just as any other caller, you need to build trust and rapport.